we want. I had dinner with Juan O'Savin last night, and while I was waiting for him, you called me, and we talked about your extremely interesting dream. I'll just sum up my dinner with Juan as saying that I've posted a video on it at BitChute. People can find me at tinyurl.com/BitChute-RDS. And Juan's bottom line is that we will see clarity by the Sunday, the 24th. Today is declassification day. Tomorrow is emergency broadcast day. And I've praised Amazing Polly, whose video I've posted. She has a marvelous phrase for Washington, D.C. as a giant open air prison camp. And I think that's where we're at. So you called me yesterday, and I was absolutely enchanted by what you had to say. So let me just go open mic with you and adjust your camera so your forehead is not cut off, or lean back a little bit. Okay, so what's the story?
So I had a crazy dream. I don't know how to turn that off. Or I don't, it might be on Facebook. I'm Dr. Sharnael, Wolverton-Sehon. I'm a Spitfire. I had a dream 3 nights ago now, and in the dream, basically, we were in a ginormous theater that sort of ramps downward, and I was on the very right side, in the very middle of the dream, of the whole aisle seating arrangement. And Trump actually came down this aisle, and when he did, everyone was just like screaming and, you know, clapping and excited. And he came down, he stopped dead in the middle. And then he looked over to the right. I was there with my friends and my family. I came out with him. I stood there for a minute. And then we went down the rest of the aisle. We went to the left. And I don't know where he went. It was over. People were cheering. I went outside and I was talking to my family. And they were going, oh my gosh, that was awesome. That was great. Oh my gosh. And I basically was like, I'm so glad that I was there. I'm so glad that I was a part of the whole thing. I'm so glad that I was in each thing step by step, moment to moment, and did what I was supposed to do with who I was supposed to, and just a part of it. Now, the backstory of that is I've had 4 dreams about him. That was my 5th dream, and each one of them came to pass. My first one was back in the day, just that he would even go be president. And anyway, so I don't know exactly what that means, except for when I saw your interview yesterday with John, what the topic came up over and over again was we were in this stage of being 3D, the different dimensions, 3D up to 5D or whatever. And there was all of these feelings and things going on. But he said it so many times. He said it like 8 or 9 times, somewhere in the middle. We're somewhere in the middle. Then the middle part was hope. Well, hope is a big word for me because it goes back to Superman, and that's a whole nother topic. But Superman is just a parallel of Christ consciousness and, you know, being from.
No, it's actually, for me, Superman is a restoration of humanity's full capacity, including telepathy and spiritual awareness and so forth.
Yeah. My whole house is Superman and Wonder Woman, if you haven't, you know, like everything. But
well, there's a lot of analogies. What I find, and I'm glad that you noticed John Peterson's video with me yesterday, because I certainly recommend it to everybody. What's happening, I think, is a convergence, and Trump is actually a manifestation of God versus Satan on earth. And what I'm hearing, I'm getting messages from spiritual leaders elsewhere, including India and Indonesia and Malaysia. And interestingly to me, the Muslims are very much paying attention to everything about Donald Trump that is positive. And Amazing Polly just pointed out that Israel has been moved back into CENTCOM. Israel was usually handled by EUCOM, so that the Arabs would be managed by CENTCOM and Israel would be managed by separate command. That's over. I'll predict right now that Israel's gone by 2022, and Palestine is restored, and all Jews live in peace within Palestine, which I would like to see become an oasis in the desert for everybody, not the apartheid genocidal thing that you've got now. So from where I sit, I'm hearing that the Clintons, the Schumers, and the Pelosi's particularly are in a frenzy of fear. All they have to do is beg mercy from the president. There is an exit strategy here that is merciful and is full of truth and reconciliation. And the president and I and everybody else are telling all the patriots, stay home.
Yes.
Don't go out on the street. Don't get involved in false flags. Don't let them goad you into confrontation. This is all under control. So what I'm feeling, and I love that you reached out to me, because I'm not a spiritual person in the California kumbaya hand-holding singing sense, but I am a good person, and I do believe in good. And everything I'm seeing and feeling and just absorbing is that we are not only on the verge of a second American Revolution, but as John and you and others are talking about, we're about to move to a new fifth dimension of being. And there will be peace and prosperity all over the earth, and that's a good thing.
Well, I have a two or three other things real quick too, because there's something about 1976, which I talked to you about. The planets right now, and this is just science.
Yes, go.
The planets right now are in a position that have never been in this exact position since 1776. You brought up 1776. And in fact, on January 6th, and again, I'm a scientist, I'm a geek, and I love God, but also I look at data. And the way Pluto is set, there's more light on Pluto right now, more than any other time starting January 6th. Well, Pluto represents manipulation, the dark forces, control, and for light to be shining on the darkness is for all of us to see what's going on. And this is the period from the 6th through the end of January where light is shining on and showing. And look at what's happening. I mean, starting the 6th, we saw some things happen with Pence. And I mean, it just kind of upset. A lot of people were dependent on him stepping out. So that's just another thing. It's supposed to lighten up in February. Pray, hopefully. Yeah, so there is a whole new resolution, literally, physically on the planet, and there's support scientifically that it does change your DNA, there's a direct contact with the way the planets are that actually affect us as humans. Another thing I want to say is everyone keeps talking about Orwell and George's book.
Orwell.
Yes, Orwell. Thank you. I said Orville, like the popcorn. It was popcorn day yesterday, but 1984, the book, which I'm embarrassed to say I never read. I just bought it because everyone keeps talking about it. And why I was sitting on my couch and someone's like third time talking about this book, I go on my phone and I'm looking up to order it. And as I do, someone sends a text about a bunch of WikiLeaks things that have just dropped, which is like from a long time ago, but people are just catching up, right? So
yeah, it's not a new drop.
Exactly. But when I look at it just to see, because I'm like, well, maybe it is. And I look and they're all 1984 drops. Like there's maybe two that weren't. And I'm like, okay, 84. And as I'm sitting there doing that, the television comes up with WW84, which is the new Wonder Woman movie. And the first one was amazing. The second one I thought actually sucked, but I couldn't understand why. When it came out, I watched it and I was like, but the looking back in that moment and sitting there, it all just came to me because they have to tell us in the movies. And the premise of the movie is that there is this crystal that everyone is searching for. And if they can get this crystal, all the gods wanted this crystal because if they could get this crystal, this could provide the person who owned the crystal the ability to make one wish. That wish would come true. Well, this guy who's kind of not so good guy wanted to get the crystal because his wish was going to be that he would become the wish. And if he became the wish, he can go door to door, person to person, and walk up to someone, look in their eyes and say, hey, don't you wish that I was the richest person in the world? Or don't you wish that I had authority? And he would usurp everyone's wishes. He actually went as far as going to the president, usurping the president. And then he found out if I can get the whole world, somehow some station, broadcasting station, satellite to shine on me, then I could talk to the whole world at once and usurp everybody's one wish for myself. So he actually goes to this island where there's this satellite and he goes there acting as president behind the podium because he's the leader now. Hello. And they shoot him, this ability to do this. And, Wonder Woman comes in at the last minute, gets him off the panel and basically is like, hey, everybody, don't make that wish. whatever, humanity is great, truth is enough, blah, 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 blah. And the whole world comes to this revolution, understanding that truth and love and humanity is awesome, and they wake up. Now, how does that apply to here? First of all, we have a crystal right here. The pituitary pineal gland is what provides and projects to create our biofield, and out as a collective, the Schumann around the world, which creates a biofield, goes out and radiates, but it also magnetizes back in. And we're commissioners. We create. That's why we're a good commodity for off-planet things, because we can create. AI can't create. We can create. So what they're doing is they're using us to create for them by using all of the media to steer our creative power into their narrative so we can create for them and they don't have to do anything. Like the mask situation, all the mockingbird shit, all of this bullshit that they've been doing. Now, what did they do with this fake bullshit presidential acceptance speech when he gets up there on the podium? Is like, I'm the president, whatever. He's not. And now they're trying to do it with the inauguration. So
that's good. And I want to finish there with you. I think this is what your message is important. And one of the things that I'm noticing is that all over the world, people are rising up. In Italy, people are refusing to leave restaurants. And when the cops come in, they're singing and the cops are backing out. In Amsterdam, there are riots for freedom. All over the United States, I think people are on the verge of doing that. But right now they're holding fire. The president has asked all patriots to stay home, stay out of harm's way. I want to end by just showing a book that I recommend that everybody, can you please enable screen sharing for me? I want to show a book by Martin Geddes that's very important. I forgot that you were the host technically, so I need screen sharing.
Did it work? I think I did it.
Yes, good. Okay, I want everybody to think about going to Open Minds, that's plural, with an S there, openmindschange.com. And I wrote the foreword to this book. This is by Martin Geddes. It is free online. Okay, let me emphasize that. It is free online for a download. It's also available as a Word, and it's also available on Amazon. So this is the single best book that is essential reading for every person of conscience on earth, okay? And I'm honored to know you and Martin Geddes and others. So I just want to end by saying,
wait, can I say one more thing? I don't want to cut you off. But we know that Paula White was actually asked to go see Trump 2 days ago, and she's a spiritual advisor. I don't personally know her, but I've been invited to some of her events and was supposed to actually meet
There's
Trump.
no question that Trump is getting spiritual advice from a lot of people. My only regret is he's not getting spiritual advice from the Black leaders of faith, who Bonhoeffer really was very moved by the joy of the Black church and the hope of the Black church. And that's the one missing ingredient in the Trump panorama. All right, let me give you one sentence to close out, and then I want to end this.
Well, I paid attention to some of her posts because I knew she was there. And one thing she said is, people judge you by what you finish, not by what you start. Keep going. God is with you. If that gives you any idea. Champions are molded by what's in them, not by what's around them. Dream, desire, have she does talk to people about not doing anything stupid.
Okay, I look, I'm not high on her because she basically does the prosperity gospel thing. So no more Paula White. Let's talk.
This is the funny one. This is the last one. Bear
All
with
right,
me.
last one, because
Stop
I have
worrying about what people think, because most of them will change their mind by tomorrow anyway. What's tomorrow?
All right, that's good. I mean, Trump was brought up in the Norman Vincent Peale.
I know you wanted me to be his spiritual advisor. That's what you said.
Yeah. Look, I think on balance, everything's going well, but there are some missing pieces. And if Trump were to make Cynthia McKinney, Dr. Cynthia McKinney,
yes,
the co-chair of the Election Fraud Commission that is supposed to report out by the 4th of March, then I think we'd be home free. But I want to see more Black spiritual advisors and more Black authentic leaders. And I also want the president to reach out to the Sandinistas, who were cheated out of the presidential nomination twice. All right, let me give you the last word, and then I'll stop recording here.
Yep. I have no idea what is going to happen. I just encourage people to go within, to connect with their peace, regardless of what the outcome is. We have to find our own abilities to connect with God and have some sort of peace in this to be able to do everything that we need to do in this really critical hour.
We are the change. God bless you. God bless Paula White. Never mind that she's always asking for donations. And God bless the President of the United States and the First Lady, Melania Trump.
Yes.
Okay, I've stopped my recording.